Welcome to another FormationData beta test demo. Today we're going to be taking a look at the platform and which modules may be useful to solar installers. So the first module we're going to take a look at is formation properties. Now we're going to choose a location. We can either do by postcode, partial postcode, town, city, but I'm going to choose by local authority. And for this one, we're going to choose North Northamptonshire and West Northamptonshire. We're going to take a look at properties that have an EPC rating of D, E, F, and G. And we're going to look at ones where we do actually have the ownership information for, and couple that with private rental properties. Now, this is because private rental properties need to get their energy certificate to an EPCC by 2030. And we're going to look at the upgrade recommendations being solar panels. So if we filter those now, we'll see how many properties we've managed to filter that down to. So we managed to filter that down to 1,743 properties. But I'm going to make one more improvement on the ownership. I'm going to make sure that the landlords that we're approaching have at least 10 properties in their portfolio. And that's reduced it down again to 672 results. But these might be landlords where approaching one potential customer could get us multiple installations. So if we open up one of these first records here, we can scroll down to the improvements here just to make sure that solar panels were on the improvements list. We can now click on the ownership details. We can see that this property owner has £487,000 cash in their bank account, so they can certainly afford the installations. They also have 39 properties. If we scroll down, we can start to see information about the directors. So if we click on the little LinkedIn icon here, the Grosvenor Group, let's just check our linked companies to make sure. Yep, there we go. So we got the Grosvenor name in there as well. Let's see some of these other directors. Yep, so we've got a couple of directors there. I'd recommend connecting in on LinkedIn with these property owners, even if it's nothing more than future networking if you don't win this job, but it's certainly worth connecting in with all of them. We can also scroll down and we see that we've got telephone numbers, we've got company Facebook pages and YouTube pages, and we've got key people within the company, and we've managed to get some email addresses as well. So I would certainly recommend contacting this company and letting them know you can take care of any EPC improvements that involve solar panels for that property. And it's just a case of working down that list and seeing how many owners you can contact and how many contracts you can win by presenting them with the fact that they've got until 2030 to get that property to an EPC. And solar panels are one of the least intrusive ways to improve that. If they've got to have something like internal wall insulation or solid wall insulation, well, solar would likely beat solid wall insulation on cost, and disruptiveness, the internal wall insulation, would be far more disruptive to the tenant, the property, and probably more costly than installing solar panels. So again, we don't have the cash in the bank information on this one, but we do know that they've got 30 properties, and they're certainly worth a few pounds. So you can also filter down and see where all of their properties are to make sure that they're in a relatively local location. So the next filters we're probably going to look at, sticking with formation properties. If we clear those, start again, and say we was working in an area on a job and we want to promote to other people within that local area. So if we use a partial postcode like NN38, and this time we're going to look for homeowners. So we're going to look at the tenure and do owner occupied. And it doesn't matter what we're going to have on the energy rating. We're just looking, again, solar panels was a recommendation. So let's search that and see how many results we could generate. So, okay, 1,228. So that's quite large, a large amount to leaflet to. Let's add in the rest of a postcode there. So there we go. That's narrowed it down to 12. So if you just search on every job you're on and leaflet or letter drop to every other potential customer in that area, you can actually pull that data for every single job within a few seconds on the platform. So the next module we're going to take a look at is formation companies. Now, this pulls most of its information from Companies House, so we can, filter by industries like property, but we want to be a lot more specific than that. We want to go into the advanced company filters and look at specific SIC codes like developers or development of building projects. Now, if we are just looking within the last 7 days, and we want to, let's just do this just to show you the volume. There's 228 new developers launched in the last week. Now, because of the future home standard coming in, future developments and developments further down the line are really going to boost the number of solar installations that's happening on new builds. It will be absolutely huge. So connecting in with these developers now is really key. A lot of developers, as you'll see, just looking at sites, are already adding solar panels. If we now click on the ownership tab and we want to work with developers who have got substantial cash in their bank account. So if we look at ones with at least £250,000 cash in their bank account, well, that's 12 that have launched in the last week. If we select this first company result here, you'll see it's very familiar. It's the exact same company pages that we saw when we was looking at ownership details on the formation properties page. And we scroll down here. So we've got information here. We can look at their linked companies, which is where their cash would be coming from. And this one has got £3.5 million cash in their bank account, and their other company is already a property owner, so it looks like they've launched a new company for development of building projects. So again, this would be a really good one to contact. We've got an email address, we've got a telephone number. Bearing in mind these have only just launched in the last 7 days, and we've even got a mobile telephone number for, and key people are Ian, David and Duncan. So really good contact information there to contact to see if you can quote for their solar panel needs on their future developments. So hopping back over to the main dashboard now, we have also got plannings. So this is just a really simple to use module. We just enter in, let's stick with Northampton, a postcode, we enter in a time frame, we enter in a distance, and we hit search. Now, there is never a better time to get solar than when the scaffolding is already up, and you can filter planning applications by keywords like extension and look at all of the projects that are having 2-story extensions in the area. You can also filter by keywords like solar, so you can find everybody who would actually require planning permission to get solar. You can export these addresses and letter drop. It's a really good conversion tool. The final module we're going to take a look at is contracts. Now, you can search by CPV codes, regions, etc. You can also just search by simply keyword. And if we look at these recent solar projects, it will give you normally a budget. This one doesn't actually have a budget there, but normally give you a budget, who is looking for it, and the lots that it's split up to, and the contact information. Sometimes you get a telephone number, sometimes it's just an email address, but you get all of the information needed in order to be able to quote for these solar projects. They do tend to be much larger solar projects though, normally in excess of around £30,000. We have seen some in excess of £250,000. But that is how you use FormationData for data mining for solar installation companies.